Yeah, so I've been having a big problem. I keep sneaking up on people and I hate it. I'm too quiet. I'm too unassuming. I need to get loud. I think I need to get loud. Yeah, so I got into cycling in the past few years, and I know when you think cycling, you think of those guys, they're like totally like aerodynamic. They're all like hunched over their bike like this, you know? Yeah, they got sunglasses. That's not me. I have a fixed gear bike. I'm just trying to get some cardio so that I don't die before the age of 45 because of my terrible diet. You know, on a regular bike, you can stop pedaling, right? Like you stop pedaling and then it glides and it makes a noise like chick, 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 right? But a fixed gear bike, the pedal is just attached to the gear. So if you're moving, the pedals are moving. You're pedaling. And so because of that, my bike basically doesn't make any noise. So when I'm riding around the park, you know, just trying to get my miles in, I keep sneaking up on people. They don't even know I'm there until I'm a few feet behind them. And even then, they don't know that I'm there. Excuse me, sorry. It's okay. Sorry. And why do all the crazy bikers, they don't have to deal with this. People hear their bike coming along and people get out of the way or they turn around or they pay attention. Why should I have to deal with something that like this guy doesn't have to deal with? Social interaction is too much for me, I've decided. Not to mention the other problem, the plague of many public parks in this great nation. They always block the path, they're short, they're loud, they don't know how to use words, they can't control their bladder. No one can stand them and everyone is too afraid to admit it. Everybody knows what I'm talking about. Say it with me. Geese. Excuse me. Dude. Gooses. Buddy. Geeses. Oh, guys. Get out of the way. So I'm gonna build something. I'm gonna build something to fix it. Yeah, so let's talk about some technical stuff. I'm going to try to make this as not boring as possible. So at this point, I feel like most people have been around electric cars enough to know kind of what the deal is. The engines don't really make any noise, so the manufacturer usually puts in some kind of artificial engine sound. It usually sounds like UFO or it sounds like Kirby inhaling. And as it turns out, when vehicles don't make noises at low speeds, it's really dangerous. Like cars are really big and they're really heavy and it's not good when you can't hear them coming. So this is kind of the solution to that problem. And so I never really thought too deeply about this until I watched a video, I'm putting it here, I guess, from Audio Developers Conference, and I'll link it in the description. It's really dope. This guy, he specializes in procedural sound generation, and he got hired by an electric vehicle startup to design a synth engine that runs on the onboard computer of the car to generate this sound in real time, which is super fascinating. I don't know what you guys think of when you think of like what's like a cool job, like astronaut or like drummer or something, but to me this is a really cool job. Like it's an intersection of like something that's technical and also creative, and it's also like saves lives. So I don't know, I think that's pretty dope. So when I thought about this, I was like, what if I built that for my bike? And so I started looking into it a bit more. There's a 5-minute video you can watch on your own, but there's certain regulations worldwide. There's like a standard in the EU that most countries follow now that basically defines like what this sound should do, how it should act at different speeds in the car. And it's basically like stuff that's pretty common sense if you think about like what an engine noise sounds like when you get faster, the sound gets higher in pitch, and when you go slower, it goes lower in pitch. And then, yeah, it also like gets louder at certain speeds. And then once you reach a certain top speed, it can kind of get quieter because at that point, the car is causing enough enough wind resistance that is not really like as silent anymore. And it's stuff like that. And you can learn all about that. I'm only going to be loosely following those rules, but they're good guidelines. So one thing I learned while watching this video is that most car manufacturers do not do what this homie in India did, which is that to say they don't build whole synthesizers to run on onboard computers like that. They hire sound designers who basically make a loop that gets played back at different points and manipulated and stuff. And I think there's a lot of good reasons for this, probably because I don't think many, your average sound designer probably doesn't have the technical skills to be able to build software like that that's going to run on a car's internal computer. But lucky me, not only, I don't know, look, I worked in the music industry for like a long time, and then I became a programmer, and so I can do that. Those are my skills, so I'm going to do it that way. So hopefully that's enough preamble, and we're just going to build the damn thing. Hey, so this is what I rigged up last night with some boilerplate Arduino code and an old board that I ripped out of an old project that was ready to go for audio, and oh god, oh yeah, oh no. Okay, that happens. Yeah, so it just does this when I turn the knob, just to kind of simulate how fast the wheel would be spinning, and so that I can do some sound design and kind of hear what it would sound like at different speeds, since I don't have the right sensors yet or anything. Yeah, and we got this fidget spinner, and we're going to use it later. But for now, I can't stop playing with it. They kind of cooked when they came up with this, right? We don't talk about it enough. They kind of cooked with this, but now I'm going to try... Oh god, I hurt myself on the fidget spinner. I'm going to try to do some sound design. Hey, so I've had like a day to kind of like try to sound design something, and I think my goal with this is like, I want it to sound unnatural, right? I want it to be like, I don't know what I'm hearing. I want to look around and examine the environment, right? And yeah, I don't know. I think it's pretty good. I don't know. You tell me. You tell me. So imagine you're walking in the park and you hear this behind you. And when I speed up, I feel like that's gonna work. So these are Hall effect sensors, and this is a neodymium magnet. And so these sensors are binary, so they output 0 or 1, or high or low, or true or false, or whatever, however you want to think about it. And when the magnet gets close enough, it outputs one thing, and when it gets far away enough, it outputs a different thing. So here's my brilliant idea. I'm going to use this fidget spinner, okay? I'm going to spin it on my desk like so. I'm going to set up one of these sensors nearby it. I'm going to slap a magnet on it, and then I can spin it, and then I can calculate perfectly how fast, how many RPMs this fidget spinner is doing, and then later I can translate that to my bicycle, and it's super easy, and yeah, it's just that easy. Except it's not, because I'm lying. Because look at this. I didn't realize that a freaking fidget spinner was like a fine-tuned piece of machinery, because look how well it spins normally, but you put the magnet on it, you put any kind of weight on one of the ends of it, and it just doesn't. It just stops. It just like spins out of control. Yeah, so I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to have to find something else like in my room that's like a wheel that spins around at different speeds to use this to test it. Otherwise, I'm going to have to drag my dirty bike in here, which I don't really want to do. But yeah, I don't really know what I'm supposed to do in this situation. Okay, so let me show you what I got going on here. Yeah, I hooked this up to my ceiling fan. We've got the Hall effect sensor right there. Attached to one of the blades, there is a magnet. When it passes over, it registers and it starts calculating an RPM. And I have the speaker in my pocket here, by the way, in my shirt pocket. If I start the fan up, start at a lower setting, you can hear it. There it goes. It's revving up. Let's go a little faster. Oh yeah. It's so dumb. Full speed. Oh yeah. And then as it reaches top speed, it should kind of start to fade off a little bit. I probably need to adjust the threshold for that, but and then let's hear it rev down. Yep. You can see the light blinks there. Whoops, the light blinks there every time the magnet gets registered. Just so I can hear it better, it's super clipping right now. It's revving down as the fan starts to slow down. Makes some interesting noises too. But yeah, so I think the next step is to get this tested on my bike. Yeah, so this is my bike. I dragged it in the house finally. I just wanted to get a better idea of how it responds to the actual rotation of the actual wheel that I'm using instead of my stupid ceiling fan. My bike's really dirty though, so I'm glad I put this towel down because I got a lot of dirt on the floor. The main thing I want to figure out is basically like at what top speed do I want the sound to start fading out, and then at what low speed do I want it to start fading out like the other way? Because basically from stopped, it shouldn't make any sound. And then when I start to move, it should make some sound. And then when I reach a certain reasonable speed, then it should start to fade out again. So I strapped the magnet to the tire. I don't know if this is going to hold up. I'm going to have to figure out how to secure all this junk into the bike. You can hear it. It's starting to go. If I wanted to be really, really precise, I'm gonna let that chill out for a second. If I wanted to be really precise, I could measure like the whole circumference of the tire. I know that like maybe around 10 or 12 miles per hour, I want it to fade out, but I'm not gonna do that. This is a creative project. We're just gonna use some creative numbers and kind of tweak it by ear, and then I'm gonna figure out how to strap everything onto the bike into my bike pouch, try to make it not fall off, and yeah, anyway. Hey, we're all loaded up here. Shoved my breadboard in a box, hooked it up to a USB battery. Kind of looks like I strapped a bomb to my bike, but that's okay because I'm gonna zip it up. And yeah, let's see how it does out in the real world. Gonna get a little distance from my house though, so that my neighbors don't question what I'm doing. We're gonna see how sketchy this is. Okay. Not bad. Everything's staying on. The sensor, I tested a bit in the house. It staying in place surprisingly well. I don't know if you can really see it. Crap. First breakage. Something's wrong. Something's hitting. I got caught, and then it got caught in the spokes, and then yeah, it probably just bounced and then clipped the spoke. We're out on the trail. Moment of truth. Don't know if I messed up. It's like plumber's tape around this connection because my electrical tape was bad, and now it's kind of shredded off. So let's see if I can get it in close enough for it to register. Okay, it's on. Let's see if I can spin the wheel a bit. See if it registers. Ugh. Damn it. Oh man, is this backwards? Dude. Oh, it twisted around. So it not only messed up, hopefully not the connection, but it messed up the side it was facing. Let's try it now. Nothing. Crap. Okay, so if I wave the sensor over it, I hear it going. So I don't think I messed up the connection. Okay, it's going back down. It has to be so close to the magnet. Okay, well, I'm hearing it. It is max volume. I probably should have increased the amp before I left the house on the software side. But let's see how we do. I hear it. I don't know why it's making noise right now. Okay, there's some sound. Okay, I'm going up in speed and it kind of faded out. And then let's say I stop. Okay, it's too quiet. It's too quiet and it's not as responsive to speed changes down as it should be, even though I did that on purpose. But now I'm like, actually that was wrong. I need to kick in a lot faster and I need it to be louder. Excuse me, squirrel. I'm not even scaring the squirrel away. Okay, here's some people who don't see me. Okay, well, they saw me, but not because of the sound. It is way too quiet. But you know, today's a stress test. See that I can actually use it on the bike with the battery, and that the sensor actually stays in place well enough to actually do this without some kind of other 3D printed fixture that I'd have to make. Okay, well, I know what the results are gonna be, but let's see what this guy thinks. He doesn't care. You can't see him, but he doesn't care. Fear me. Like, what the hell is that? Oh, there's babies. Wait, we gotta look at the babies. They're right there under the tree. Oh God, they're coming towards me. What the fuck? Hey, 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 hey. Oh my God, it hissed at me. I didn't know they did that. God, get out of my way. All right, where the new goals have been clearly laid out. I'm not trying to harass these geese. Just don't want them to think they can roll up on me like that. Yeah, it's like the faintest whisper out here. Okay, I'm leaving the park. Some wins, some losses. We've got a little ways to go. Pros: the sensor actually stayed on my bike decently well. That's great. After I adjusted it that one time. Yeah, and I guess the other win is that it sort of mostly does what I want it to do, but there's some big flaws. All right, yeah, so cons. I was a fool testing it inside. I thought I wanted the deceleration to be so much slower because it sounded so nice when I was just doing it with my hand in my house. That sounds bad. When I was just doing it by hand in my house, you know, spinning the wheel by my hand, whatever. The two things that we need are faster response when I decelerate, because that's the most likely scenario where I want to alert somebody that I'm behind them. We need it a lot louder. One more major takeaway from today, maybe the most important one, is that geese, they do not mess around. They're ready to square up at a moment's notice. They're like your reactionary neighbor, very territorial, believes heavily in the castle doctrine. You know, they're ready to shoot you on sight if you come up to the door. You know, I'm just out here, I'm just trying to coexist. Peace and love. Yeah, so above all else, we need a bird deterrent from this sound. You know, I knew they were aggressive, but I didn't know they could hiss. Like, they don't even have teeth, you know? It's like, what are they gonna do? It's like a Untitled Goose Game. Like, I guess they can bite and chase you and honk at you. I'm gonna bring my bike back inside, work on it for tomorrow, and then try again. All right, we're at day 2. We've made some improvements. Almost at the park, so I'm gonna plug things in. What happened? What did I do last night? I fixed a bug that was making noise. I fixed my volume problem. It was actually really easy. Most importantly, made the deceleration sound kick in a lot faster. Testing it last night, it was pretty sick, so I have high hopes for today. Where is that cable? All right, plugged in, speaker on. Okay, and then I also added a little secret mod last night, this button, and you'll find out what it does later. You can hear it already. Get up to speed. Then it fades out, and if I slow down a little bit, slow down a lot. Okay, and that seems like a good volume. Still takes a while to kick in. It's definitely a lot better. It's okay. Okay, yeah, so far nobody cares. So I might pump up the volume on the next go around. Alright, I raised the volume a little bit. Try not to like disturb the peace or anything, but you know, give me some. Look around, you know? Don't see any geese today, so might not get an opportunity to try out my button yet. Oh, there's some over there, but they're not a threat. Well, I don't know, should I? Crap. My button broke. All right, button, I don't know if the connection's off or something, not working as I intended. Probably just a wire got yanked, but gonna have to revise that one a little bit. Someone behind me's got a bell. How quaint. I, for one, think everything that is old should be thrown out and replaced by stuff that's new, because everything that's new is better than old stuff, right? That goose scrammed right off. 2 things to fix. Gotta fix the goose button. And then number 2, definitely want the sound to kick in even faster when I decelerate. Like, I want to feel like I can pump the brake and it kicks in. So that's for next time. Oh, there's a guy. Look at him. Look at him. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me. Excellent. That's progress. The reaction that I thought I'd get, that I'm not getting, is people looking around being like, hey, what's that sound? What's that weird sound? Maybe I just expect that from other people because that's what I do. I don't know. Maybe I pay attention to my surroundings more than some other people. I'm turning it off. I know what I gotta do. Hopefully tomorrow is the day. Okay, there's a big group here. It's a good test. It's wild. It's wild. I don't get it. If I hear that noise out here, I'd be like, what the hell is that? But no one cares. Pumping up the volume to max. Who cares? You know, maybe this is a lost cause. Maybe it's a lost cause. It does work on some people. It works for some people, and I appreciate that. I guess you probably have the same thing when you're like, you're driving and there's people standing in the middle of the road and they just keep standing there. Like, that just happens. That's just human nature, I guess. Like, it is doing what it's set out to do. I guess the best that, you know, you can reasonably expect. Some people are paying attention to their surroundings and it gives an effective warning in those situations, but most people, they're just going about their day. They're not paying attention to a darn thing. See, I mean, that works. Like, it mostly works. It's just, you know, you can't get through to some people no matter what you do. And you know what? That's okay. Like, who am I? Who am I? I'm nobody. I'm just trying to share the park with everyone. Everybody gets to do what they want to do. But you know, sometimes it just doesn't work out like that. The high-pitched noise is not the intended functionality of that button, but you know what, it might as well be at this point. I just wanted to like blast out and be distorted, and it does that for a second, and it does it every time I'm in the house, but when I get out in the world, hey. Yeah. Excuse me. So many out here today. God, there's poop everywhere. One more shot, one last try for the button. Oh, God, the poop. one good button. God, there's so many out here today. I don't know why. There's more than ever. Excuse me. Yes. Yes. Stand down, foul. Yeah, and then I guess that's the other thing that happens is people just have earbuds in and they don't hear me, and that's totally fair. They should be able to walk in the park without worry of like being run over, of course. But you know, it's just it's an obstacle for this project. Yeah, there was a goose convention today. I don't know, dude. They were pooping everywhere. It was crazy. It's all over my tires. So yeah, we're narrowing in on the final verdict for this project. So reflecting back on the footage, I did refer to this project as kind of a lost cause, and I don't mean that in an entitled way, like people and animals need to just get out of my way because I'm on a bike. Everyone's just trying to maintain their sanity, do the things they gotta do to get through the week, relax and find some peace for a moment, and that's not always gonna leave perfect consideration for other people, especially not when you're a goose. I should clarify, relaxation doesn't always include perfect consideration for other people, except if you're me, and any minor inconvenience you cause to another person makes you spiral. Like, oh God, what have I done? But many people are not like that, and good for them. It's a much better way to live your life, frankly. Also, yes, I do know that other solutions to this problem exist, like the classic bicycle bell, and then there's also the very old school playing card in the spokes. But I just wanted to explore something that I thought was interesting and make a silly video about it, so oh well. I think going forward I am going to get something that makes noise on my bike. I want something that sounds kind of pleasant, like for some reason I want something that sounds like a gong or like a harbor bell or something kind of unusual. I have to think about that. But yeah, I'll probably be investing some time into thinking of something like that. I did gloss over a lot of details to try to make this video more entertaining. It is a lot longer than I thought it was going to be. If you have any, I don't know, technical questions, you can ask them in the comments and I'll try to answer them. I don't know if anybody cares, but I'm putting up the source code in the description. And then also, I've never seen anybody do this on YouTube, but why not? I'm unemployed. If your company is hiring a software engineer with these kind of skills, yeah, maybe hit me up. I don't know. Yeah, and that's it. Free Palestine.